Thanks for checking out this recording of Mornings with Lone Star. Just to remind you that I'm broadcasting live every Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, sponsoring the morning segment, or just have a question, email me at dick@irlonestar.com or visit us online at irlonestar.com/contact us. We want to say a special thanks to Mornings with Lone Star show sponsors, Conroe Coffee, locally owned and brewed in downtown Conroe, Texas. Check them out on Facebook by looking up Conroe Coffee. And the Conroe Americana Music Festival, 50 bands, 6 venues. Experience downtown Conroe May 5th through the 7th by purchasing tickets online at ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZWLP Conroe and 106.1 KZCCLP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com.
All right, that was Michael Player right there. You can catch him every first Thursday here at Founders Plaza during the Farmers Market in downtown Conroe. Like I said, this is Mornings with Lone Star. It's 8:29. I have Simon Cicada in the studio. He's going to talk about water tips in the area because I think he's the president of Quad Vest with the V, Water and Sewer Supply. We're going to find out if he really is here in a second. How are you doing, Simon?
Good morning. Doing great. Doing great.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, it's a good time to let people know we are going into May, and that's when summer's going to, actually, I have no idea when school's over. I've lost touch with school because I've been out of school for, 10, 15 years,
Right.
And now it's like, when does it end? Because it always changes. So
It does. It does seem to change a lot.
Conroe ISD ends, I want to say, at the end of May. I want to say that.
Yeah.
But they probably start really later, or like probably September. But summer's coming anyway. And you are in charge over there at Quad Vest Water and Supply Utility. You provide water to people in Montgomery County.
That's right.
And there's some important tips to know.
There are a lot of things that we can do to cut down our water bills. I think that all of us see the rising rates that we've been experiencing in Montgomery County for various reasons. And so checking for leaks is one of the biggest things that we can do, and that can be anywhere from a leak in your yard and you see from a wet spot or a toilet that just runs 24/7.
And when you see a wet spot, folks, I've encountered this personally, and we had a sprinkler system leak. And when he says wet spot, it's almost like Jell-O. If it's that wet, if it's been sitting there and you can touch the ground and it moves like ripples.
That's right.
That's it's mud. I'm just saying, I'm not kidding you. It was one of the craziest things. I was sitting there mowing the lawn, and I was like, what's going on over here?
Yeah.
And I thought something was really happening, but it turned out it was just a leaky sprinkler.
Little water leak, and sometimes you can see them like that. Sometimes they're so small that you don't notice them. But one of the best things that a homeowner can do is look into their meter box. There's a black box somewhere around their yard.
Okay.
And there's a meter in there that measures water. And if you open that box and you open the lid on the meter, there's a little dial on that meter. And if you turn all the water off in your house and you look at that dial and it's still moving, you have a leak somewhere.
You're probably making people really worried right now. They're like at work, I'm like, I gotta get home and do this, and so they give their utility person a call, correct?
They can call their utility person, but sometimes that's on the customer side. It's not on the utility side. So if that meter is spinning, and sometimes it's just a little bit, you may have to stare at it. But if it is spinning, that means you do have a leak. And that may be in your house. It may be in your yard. It may be...
It's anywhere. That's the scary part.
It could be anywhere. But that would let you know that you do have a leak. And if you can't find it, you may want to call a plumber.
Okay, so the plumber will help you identify the problem.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, folks, that actually should be a normal thing. Pretty much every year you check your house just in case, 'cause especially how old some of the houses out here in Montgomery County are.
Sure. It could save people a lot of money, yes.
And now I got to ask you, you don't have to answer this. I know the water thing's getting political here in Montgomery County. I think they're even bringing it to the Senate over in Texas. It's a big deal. As Quadvest, what are your stances on providing water for Montgomery County? You trying to make it affordable, or is it something you just go with the tide, or?
Well, yeah, our we're very proud of having low water rates, and our water rates have been we haven't kept up with inflation. So for 30 years, Quadvest has gone up $8 and 75 cents over the last 30 years. And so we believe that affordable water is important to the community. So on the political front, most people in Montgomery County have seen their water bills approximately double. And that comes from two state agencies, the San Jacinto River Authority and the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District.
I want to get both of them in here at the same time and see what
I
happens.
think there's...
maybe we can get you to be the judge.
I'd be happy to. I actually testified Monday evening at the Senate on a bill that our Senator Brandon Creighton introduced to change the makeup of the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District Board. That board is an appointed board. Many people believe it is appointed for special interest. Senator Creighton, Representative Metcalf, Representative Bell, Representative Keel from the Woodlands, and Senator Nichols all agree that the board should be elected by the people of Montgomery County.
Yeah.
And let the people have a say in the future of their water.
No, it really is. It's funny because I've had a lot of those folks in, and over the time, you're trying to see the problem. Like one of my favorite guests we have is Bob Daly. He comes in and does the gardening. He's a master gardener.
Yes.
And he constantly talks about those groups, and he thinks it's going to be a big issue. And then even last night, I watched this movie called The Big Short. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Yes, I have seen that.
But my favorite scene is the whole movie is based off the housing collapse, and it's about these groups of people who bet against it because they saw it, and they feel bad, of course, after making all the money. But the most interesting one is one of the guys who made the most money, he got out of the business, and now he just does water. That's what he invested in, is in water. So that's kind of telling that even investors are going for water. And then they have, that was a plot in a James Bond film. And so it's a big deal. I don't think we have a James Bond plot here in Montgomery County with the River Authority, but it's something we need to talk about.
You certainly hear across Texas, they call them the water wars. It's been going on for a long time, actually. And it was historically maybe more of a range war kind of thing between the cities and rural farmers and ranchers. But it has really started to touch every neighborhood, municipality across Texas. And politicians are working hard to solve the problem because it is a problem. And it's not going to get solved this session. It's going to take some time to get this solved. I just always believe that people will get it right. If people get to have a say in the future of their water, they will eventually get it right. And that's been my position. I think that's the position of all of our representatives and senators in Montgomery County. The bill actually passed the House last week. It was voted out of committee in the Senate Monday night. It will go to the Senate floor. There will be reconciliation on this bill. And then we're going to have an election in Montgomery County, electing 5 members to a board to oversee the future of our water. It's going to be very important to us.
Now, who wants that job? I want to meet the people who want to go for that job. Is that something that interests you? Or can you even do that? I guess that's kind of a conflict of interest.
I think it would be.
Yeah.
I've been arguing that there have been conflicts of interest on the board today, and so I think it would be a conflict of interest for me. But we need responsible people that care about the future and that don't have special interests. And it's not easy. It's a complicated issue. We have to think about aquifers and how to keep our aquifers safe. And we also have to think about protecting people's private property because groundwater is private property in Texas. And it's a delicate balance, and people need to understand that.
Especially where we get all of our water from. Let's move over, Simon, if you don't mind, to talk about QuadVest. You said you were around for 30 years, and you provide water to certain areas in Montgomery County. So if I'm a listener right now, online, and I'm in New York and I want to move to Conroe, you're an option.
Yes.
And when you build a home, or even if you buy a used home, tell me the process of how do I get QuadVest as my water utility.
Okay, so QuadVest has been in business. Next year will be our 40-year anniversary. Family-owned business. I'm third generation. My family's been in Montgomery County since the 1860s. And we build the infrastructure for subdivisions, the utility infrastructure, and then we are the utility company. So some people get their water bill from City of Conroe or a mud district, or they have their own backyard water well, or if you live in a subdivision we provide water to, you get your water from QuadVest. So one of the biggest benefits of getting water from Quadvest, which is a private water company, is you don't pay taxes. You don't pay mud taxes, or you don't pay an ad valorem tax. So I always tell people that Quadvest doesn't have taxing authority. And so that just drives the cost of water down a little bit.
Yeah, because we're talking about cents. When you buy water, you do it by the cent, right? Correct?
It's by the 1,000 gallons.
Mhm.
So our flat rate is $1.75 per 1,000 gallons, and it's different all over the community.
Mhm.
So some places are $2, some places are $1. It really varies.
No, now with the getting you guys as a utility maker, so if you built the area, you're one of the options, correct?
Yes.
But then what happens if I move into a subdivision that you didn't build in? Is it just not an option?
Right. You're going to sign up with your mud district
Okay.
or the
I was
city.
making sure.
Sure.
Because I wonder if, you never know. People don't know when they move in. Who do they ask? Is that something that you approach people, or is that something that the community usually provides? I've never really moved into a new area, so I'm always wondering how do I get this information?
Sure. When you buy your house, you're going to get your information on your electric provider, cable provider, and your water provider, trash. It's all going to kind of come in this package.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good, because I didn't know that. I didn't know where to go. Like we were without water for like a month. But is there anything else you want to tell people? I know you have a website. It's quadvest.com. It's VEST, so quad, like quadruped, and vest, VEST, so quadvest.com. What can people do? I mean, y'all been around for a while, so that means your customer service is, at least adequate.
Absolutely.
Probably better than that. I'm just saying, because y'all been around.
I think it's one of the best. We have these some of the best customer service ladies in the business. They work hard. They work nights and weekends, and I actually wanted to give a shout out to them for their hard work. We've had a particular special project we've been working on, and they have been just burning the midnight oil. So they're great.
Well, a special shout out to you ladies for helping the people in Montgomery County, and that's quadvest.com. I'm sitting with the president, Simon. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
And you're listening to Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget
3 days of music. That's right, 3 days of music in downtown Conroe on May 5th through the 7th. 6 venues, 50-plus bands. Dale Watson and Ray Benson, Ruthie Foster, 2 Tons of Steel, Texas bands like Folk Family Revival, Band of Heathens, Uncle Lucius. This is Conroe's Americana Music Festival, bluegrass, rockabilly, folk, and Southern Texas country. Tickets are $75 for all 3 days in downtown Conroe, $50 for Saturday, and $35 for Friday or Sunday. All this and more is happening in downtown Conroe, Texas on May 5th through the 7th. Get your tickets online right now at ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com. Tickets are limited, so get yours today. ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com.
Thanks for checking out this recording from Lone Star Community Radio. Lone Star Community Radio is Montgomery County's community radio station and broadcasted live from Conroe, Texas on IRLoneStar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Interested in sponsoring this show, being a guest, hosting your own show? Then please visit us online at IRLoneStar.com and check out the Contact Us page. We want to say thank you to our studio supporters. Our traffic sponsor, Conroe Americana Music Festival at ConroeAmericanaMusicFestival.com. For more information about the show, please check out the information below in the description.